So when Grace was born, we had no idea that there were any issues. And initially we were told that she might not even live for a matter of hours. Children's Mercy came and got her, whisked her away, and my husband and my sister-in-law, Aunt Joyce, followed, and my mom. And anyway, when we found out, she received a diagnosis of Gold's syndrome by a lady who had been in South America, a dermatologist, right away. And so we started doing research, and it entailed a lot of different things within her body. You know, physical issues were mounting day by day. One of the big things was failure to thrive, and just didn't eat, which was hard because we're a big eating family. But anyway, so it took all of us. She pulled through. She was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and it took my family saying that they would help out because we had to take her to Kansas City at least 2 to 3 times a week to receive services she needed and make sure she was getting the nutrition. My mom and dad promised me they would help, and they did. They drove her many times when I couldn't because we had 2 young boys at home. My sister-in-law, Joyce, chipped in, as well as many, many other people. However, we had to go out of town. My dad would be part of that. He would go travel with us and drive hours and hours because Grace had multiple eye surgeries and could not get in the airplane, and they would go to Detroit and have to drive back. She attended CCVI, and that school, of course, from us, it's 60 miles, and our whole family, even my boys, were such a big part of it, and people in my tiny little community. Be in Washington, D.C., and to think back where you know, her beginning, and it was enormous. It was bigger than I can even describe. It was a little overwhelming to Grace because she was amongst, you know, 4,000 students, international, national students, and she's very reserved, but you could see her happiness, and in sharing that with her teacher, Lenny, and being able to call her grandma and grandpa and tell them, and just Brian and I, it was very big. That was even kind of, to me, kind of even more special because, you know, it was a little smaller setting than 4,000 kids, you know, it was, I don't know, 1,000. And it was a smaller setting, and her brothers, you know, she's sitting there with her brothers and her Aunt Joyce and Uncle Mike.
Sure.
And so, and it was pretty special when she got to go up there and be first place in the state of Missouri because her brothers had won the state championship in cross country when they were in high school, and she always wanted to do something.
Both of them?
Like that. They were on the same team, and their team won first place, and she'd written in the special letter on her typewriter saying no matter the outcome. I mean, it was very, you know, from her old soul, and typed it out to them, and she'd always hoped that one day she could accomplish something like that. She'd always hoped that one day she could accomplish